one unit at a time. Alright, so we have Assault Mode Meleotus. Every attack he increases his Wrath cap of 5. Upon reaching the cap, he deals a 5x damage hit and applies Despair. Performs one of the 10 orders to enemies in range. So units gain... The unit gains 100% crit, 20% damage. Relieve units from stun. If they're not stunned, gain 15% damage instead. Stun enemies for 10 seconds. Wrath deals 50% damage to them. Inflict Conquer Despair. Repose, Petrify, and increase. A lot more damage. Enemies' Wrath are summoned with 100x the current damage, 10% of their max HP, and then stuns himself for 15 seconds and adds damage. Yeah, long story short with this guy, he has 10 orders. He gets an order every 5 Wrath, and every 5 Wrath he does 5x his damage. And then afflicts some sort of affliction, affix, whatever the case is. Let's upgrade Idol real quick. We can play Aragi because he is a pretty straightforward unit. So Vampire Prodigy Exotic, this is the capsule unit. If he attacks an enemy under bleed, inflicts a slightly weaker bleed, dealing 50% of the unit's damage over 8 seconds, but the dot has a 25% chance to stack, increasing by 25% per stack up to 125%. So, a little interesting kind of support bleed unit. I don't know if he'll see any real play, but that is what he does as the capsule unit. He's from the Monogatari series. I just started watching some of that again, Bakemonogatari. So that's something new for me. I think it's been a very long time since I've seen that one. Alright, so let's get back to Wrath now that we have the actual money. So he does Despair. On hit, Despair is actually very good. 50% more damage from all elements. So he's boosting other units except for himself. Yeah, that's the plan. I will be maxing him, and I'll show the other units as well. Yep, yeah, so we just talked about his passives. His passives are called the 10 orders. Basically, he does a giant hit every 5 hits. So every 5 he stacks up Wrath, and his next hit is a follow-up attack that does 5x damage. And it applies one of these orders, which is some sort of additional damage buff, right? Some sort of Petrify, Slow, Weaken. There's a bunch of different things it can do, but I think the main point of it is the 5x damage. So, full parry, upon activation, pick the strongest unit in range and deal 5x of the chosen unit's current damage. The attack has a 100% chance to critically hit. So, you could just copy the unit, do full parry. So the reason the spawns are coming in is because at some point on Wrath, he was able to grab them and summon them for 100x his current damage, plus 10% of their max health. This one says takedowns, so I'm not sure if he needs to get it, but is 4x on? I believe so, it should be. You'll have to double check. Alright, and then his last ability is Assault Sword. Same exact thing as full parry, but this stacks up to 40x. So it starts at 15x, and for every use it increases the multiplier up to 40x. So it's very, very strong. So once he's not stunned. 200% global cooldown is actually pretty good. But it does his next attack, so take into account whatever he's hitting plus whatever splash damage. So it's not like a crazy nuke. It's just like a very strong hard hit. Alright, so that covers Meleotus. I think pretty straightforward type of dark unit. I think this one gets a little bit more complex. So we got Buddha. So he cannot be buffed by other units, and instead whenever he gets a buff, he buffs units in range for the duration of the original buff. 20% chance to miss an attack, dealing 35% less damage. Whenever he misses, he gains crit chance up to a cap. After 15 misses, he gains 20% damage permanently, and he never misses again. So a little bit of scaling. So things get interesting after... So he hits hybrid a little later. Alright, 6 domains. This is his big thing. So it's a 50-second cooldown, and you need 6 activations, so you can unlock his 0 form. So transform into 6 domains in sequence. After using all the forms, unlock 0 sword transformation. Each form only lasts for 40 seconds. He gains 75 yen per attack, sets damage to 20 mil. SPA to 12, range to 35. For every 100 enemies hit, gain 1,250 yen. Next one, Animal Domain. Each time he lands a critical hit, you gain 5% critical damage to a cap of 25%. And you set base damage to 11.5 million, SPA to 7, and range to 39. So he gets kind of these like mandatory stats in each form. Human Domain, set crit chance to 100%, base damage to 4.5 mil, SPA to 4. And then Pretra Domain, debuff all units in range by 10%, minus 10% damage, gain plus 10% damage for every unit, cap of 50%, and he sets his base damage to 10 million. Alright, once you've activated all the forms, you get through that lengthy process. He has Sword of 0. Upon activation, set base damage to 11 million, SPA to 6, range to 45, and every 5 attacks he gains damage and SPA up to a cap. Once he's reached that cap, he can stop regen completely for 10 seconds on enemy hit. So this is another way, I think, to just tackle killing off regen. Pretty interesting. I think the number right now is based on this because he isn't glitched or avatar or anything like that yet. And plus, it's based on his level too. So if we leveled it up, he'd have higher values for sure. So we can test that after. I'll level him up. So that's Buddha, and basically I think the crux of what he does is ignores the elemental disadvantage and then can stop regen for 10 seconds. And then the last one is this one. Alright, this one's unique. So we'll play Madoka first. Obviously, you kind of know he has some sort of interaction with her. So life drain. He's sacrificing... Let's see if it works. So he's sacrificing some stocks. And he's nerfing... Should be allies in range. Let's go all the way up. Okay. Best way to do this is to read everything here for him. So we have Life Drain. Every 20 seconds, decrease base stocks by 2 to 4. Cannot wipe all stocks for 15 seconds. So if he removes 4 stocks, she'll transform, right? For every stock removed, he gains 40% more damage and 10% more range. 160% and 40% range cap. So especially when playing something like Enkidu that increases the stock cap, might play around. A little bonus damage can get pretty high. So upon activation, picks a random unit to sacrifice to this unit's year bar. Sacrificing the unit sells the unit and adds a sell price to the years bar. 2k cash is 1k 1 year, 2 mil cash 1,000 years. So let's sacrifice Meleotus. Oh, no, he sacrificed Buddha already. Yeah, I mean the scaling on it gets pretty interesting, as you can see. Okay, so now he hit the 4 stocks. Even when this recovers, she shouldn't go back to base form. So now you do have, a Madoka that's already in her dark form. So pretty cool little interaction. It's a nice little stock interaction for it. I guess it works well with Goku too, giving him slight boosts here and there. So Time Thief, pick random units in range to sacrifice to this unit's year bar. Sacrificing the unit sells them. So I'm selling off my units right now. You could do this as well to get about 500 years. Is put them in the drain zone. I don't think it's draining properly from what it looks like. Well, if you put them in the red circle, it's supposed to kill off their Let me see, maybe if we place a Ragi. I think it has to do with Buddha's interaction for the debuffs. There we go. Okay. It does have to do with Buddha's interaction because he can't be debuffed. So when this unit reaches 0, he'll gain more years. Yuno and Bulma skins in the skin banner. Oh, I'll check it out. Thank you, thank you. Upon activation, deal 100x damage to the strongest enemy in range and heal 1 life stock for 30 seconds, 10 years, and then 100 years. Deal 1 times damage for every 2 years of life stocks this unit has drained via life drain passive. Apply bleed based on total. Resets the total drained life stock counter. Damage cap is a 500x multiplier. So there's some value, I guess, for this unit, just leaving him on the field and letting him rack up years. That's about it though for this unit. That's about it for this unit. Pretty straightforward. I say straightforward. It's funny. There's a lot of text to it. To be frank, there's a lot of text to it, but he plays pretty straightforward. I don't know. I think more of as a support type interaction. Yet any that I like right now, of these, personally none that I think I'm gonna aggressively roll on. I plan on rolling on Ichigo this update, I think. I have enough what's it called? Grass physical. I have enough light magical. We have plenty of these units. Ooh, good point. What's the name of the tournament unit? He's the new one, right? It's another tradable. Let's see. We got him somewhere. Is he not tradable now? So he's gotta be an exotic unit. Kinshiro. This unit has a base crit rate of 50% and a base crit damage of 250%. Don't know how well that'll scale toward 800k to upgrade. I think it's just a collector's type thing. It looks like it'd just be a collection type unit. Way less utility than like Hermit Spirit, I think. Yeah, Kenshiro. Let's see what else we got. Oh, I did want to check the cosmetic form real quick. Oh, dude, the cosmetic is clean. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. Yeah, pretty clean. What else we got? We got Aragi's cosmetic too. Okay, not bad, not bad. Ooh, there was one we did get skin-wise too. Another one. We got Aizen. Oh, there's no change for it. We got Aizen Muken. What do we have on banner? What's Meleotus's? Yeah. Show Meleotus's as well. Assault mode Meleotus. Schnosuke Sneisen. Yeah. Kinda goofy, honestly. Yeah, I do agree with the comment before. It was kinda goofy. Yep, that's Meleotus's. And then we got Buddha's. Buddha's is like pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Well, I guess I should put it like the graphics quality. Yeah, a lot more aura, a lot more vampire stuff. How to get whose Evo item? Ronnie? Which one? Is that this one? Heaven Demon? The Heaven Demon is through crafting. I don't even know if I'd roll for Meleotus. I rolled for him a little prematurely, but I did get Avatar in like 10 rolls, so I wasn't too worried about it. Oh, Ronnie, Wrath, for Wrath. So to get Wrath, you're going to have to go collect all his items by clearing the stage. So try to evolve him right now. If you have him, try to evolve him now, and then you have to go clear all the stages. It says hidden, but they're not really hidden. They're just on the stage. Like you just got to beat the stage and you'll get it. So you basically have to beat 10 stages and you'll get Meleotus. So I would keep Avatar. Immortal King is a very strong unit, but yeah, it's a guaranteed drop. Wind Prince, Formal, Mythic Skin. My Mythic Pity's at it's got to be 30.